Hi, I'm Kwanghyun, and I'm currently working for Big Data Lab of VD Division at Samsung Electronics. Today, I will introduce Samsung Smart TV Analytics, explain how our partners can use the portal and its visual opportunity. Portion of smart TV in the general TV market has been continuously growing every year, and it was over 50%, over 60% in 2016. Samsung has been dominating the overall smart TV market worldwide for many years. As you can see in the graph, Samsung Smart TV are getting activated more every day, and activation ratio is over 80% now. Our consumers are using not only to consume video contents, but also to use smart TV apps in various domains. Samsung Smart TV is known to be the best smart TV platform to attract a lot of users for your app due to this reason. Thousands of different apps are available through our Samsung Smart TV ecosystem with various genres such as video, music, sports, game, life cycle, and so on. As you can see in the right side of the slide, the graph shows popular OTT app usage ratio. It indicates that, to our surprise, over 50% of users in US and EU are frequently using OTT apps. This usage ratio is very high compared to usage level of regular apps in web or mobile phone. The total app counts are not enough, taking into account mobile apps. But I believe this will be continuously increasing, and you will definitely find more visual opportunities via Samsung Smart TV ecosystem. Then, what is key feature to developers when somebody wants to increase his or her visual opportunities in this echo? The answer is to better understand users and their usage patterns. Without fully knowing about your app usage and users and usage patterns, only limited strategy is possible. To make successful biz, bringing user feedback to content provider is prerequisite. Thus, we provide Samsung Smart TV Analytics to support our partners better. I'm sure this data analytics capability can help you to increase your visual opportunities. I will introduce some use cases of how it works in the other half of this session. Now, I will introduce Samsung Smart TV Analytics portal in the next few slides with demo. To access Samsung Smart TV Analytics, the entry point is Cell Office. If you are the partner of Samsung Smart TV, you have the account of Cell Office. You can find Samsung Smart TV Analytics link in the report menu of Cell Office. By clicking it, you can see the Analytics portal main page. Samsung Smart TV Analytics portal provides statistics data of smart TV apps with two main categories. One is app, and the other is game. In each category of report, user and usage point of view are provided. For our convenience, we provide such options, such as duration range, release year, region or country, device types, and so on. Now, I'll show you demo video. Demo video contains some example of how to use the portal and what kind of reports are provided. Now, watch the video. Sorry. You can choose duration range, release year, region, or country options. You can please keep in mind app title selection to see what you want. You can break down the data by option selection, and you can classify the indexes. This example is countries. You can draw chart graph in chart menu. And you can export your data to Excel file. And report help provides some information of the report and index definition. User index length provides some sort of length by length, and we provide a country or apps and so on. Loyalty rate provides some data regarding new access churn-in, churn-out, or retention rate. You can refer the report help to see the details of KPI indexes. Service usage index and rank is almost the same as the user indexes. And average usage can be, you can see the average usage also. Is a game KPI category. KPI trend report of game provides download, registered users, and average visit, average play, and sales data also. You can see sales data in the separate page in detail. I will skip some slides which are substituted by demo. This slide shows APIs for game app. We provide a total of 4 RESTful APIs to be used to collect 4 different data points like start game, start play, end play, and end game. The collected data by API calls are used to make game API KPIs, such as play time or play duration, play counts, and so on. You can see the overall architecture of a smart TV analytics system. When user execute and use your app, the data, usage data, is collected by load collector servers. After some ETL or MR batch processing, the processed data are stored in ODS, data warehouse, and data mart successively. When our partner access our Samsung Smart TV Analytics through Cell Office, it is redirected to the WhatsApp of analytics portal. The requested report is prepared and showed to our users by OLAP processing. All these processes are repeated by daily-based batch processing. From now, I will introduce 4 use cases of how to utilize the analytics data for your business opportunities. The first use case is usage trend analysis. You can analyze app usage trend and its statistical characteristics. For example, left slide shows OTT app usage trend in Samsung Smart TV. You can observe that over 50% of users and 70% of usage increase every year. This kind of usage trend analysis can be used for game apps also. The second use case is regional comparative analysis. You can track in which countries user number is growing or decreasing, and how many users are using your app per each country. You can compare usage differences among many countries. Using such analytics information, you can come up with a new business strategy. For example, if users in a certain country use your app significantly less than users from other countries, you can assume that your app is not localized enough to that market, or there is a special cultural characteristics of that country with respect to your app that requires your special attention. The third use case is user loyalty analysis. The certain periods usage data can be decomposed into that period's churn-in, churn-out, new visits, and the previous durations periods usage data. Suppose that the number of unique visits is staying at the same level. There can be several different configurations. If you observe low churn-in, churn-out and small number of new visits, then you have to analyze why the number of incoming users is low and how you can attract and retain users by running some marketing campaigns. In the case of high churn out, low churn in, and high new visit, then you have to think about why users don't want to keep using your app, and what you have to do about high churn out rate. There are some of many examples of how you could use your app data to conduct loyalty analysis for your own app. The last use case is campaign effect analysis. When you run a digital marketing campaign, such as coupon promotion, you can check if the revenue number changes for new users or existing users. If new users spend are dramatically increasing compared to existing users spend, you can target coupon promotion to new users more. I have introduced 4 use cases here. But as you can imagine, there are many other metrics and analysis that you can leverage in order to come up with new marketing and growth campaign strategy of your app. Now is time to introduce guest speaker Kevin Tucker, who is working for Spotify, one of our best partners. He will introduce his experience of Spotify app on Samsung Smart TV. Welcome to Kevin.
Thanks, Kwanghyun. All right, everybody stay with me. I can see it in all of your eyes. You all have the pasta. So come on. I know you're excited about analytics and data as much as I am. And I was really excited to be able to talk to you a little bit about how we at Spotify use the analytics portal in our app experience on Samsung TV. So to give you some background, last year we launched our new app on the Shazam platform that allowed free and premium users to use our app on Samsung TVs. And we've seen really great growth in the TV space. And as the market leader in TVs, we obviously wanted to work very closely with Samsung to create a great experience. We're currently available in 61 markets across the globe, and Samsung has been a great partner in helping us reach a lot of the audiences where the TV may actually be the only connected device in your home, and actually maybe also the best speaker you have in your home. So it really represented a great opportunity for us to create a listening experience that would show users how they could seamlessly go from using Spotify on their mobile device to their car, and then in their home for very specific listening use cases. And just to give a little bit more background on our experience, you can see here in the Eden launcher, we use some of our APIs and just the knowledge we have about users to allow them to either jump back into what they've listened to or find new content. So again, using some of our APIs, we understand who you are, what music you like, also what time of day it is. So for example, if you're coming back home, it's a weekday at night, maybe we'll serve you up a dining playlist so you can listen to something while you're having dinner, or maybe on the weekend when you're sort of doing your chores, we can just sort of give you some ambient music. And again, we're just trying to make sure we serve you the right content at the right moment so that you're listening to music in the home. And just this year, we launched a new experience on 2017 Samsung TVs using Music ID powered by Shazam. So if users are watching TV, want to know what song's playing on their favorite TV channel, et cetera, they can go ahead and Shazam the song, and once that's been identified, they can play it through the Spotify app. So the question really is, we built all these great experiences, have a really broad depth of things that users can engage with on our app on Samsung TVs, but I think one of the things that we love about having access to the Samsung Analytics portal is that it allows us to gather the intelligence to understand if things are going well, if people are using our experience, or if there's things we need to improve. So at Spotify, we love funnels. We love to use them as a way to think about our entire user journey and experience and figure out how users are moving through each step of that funnel itself. To start off with awareness, obviously we want to know if users know that the app is available, and this really goes to a lot of our marketing effectiveness and awareness, so are the placements really accurately showing the value proposition of using Spotify on your TV, and seeing if those are effective. So once people potentially know about the app itself, that really moves over to our acquisition bucket. So hopefully users are incentivized, they know the value proposition of our experience on TVs, and then because we have our experience open to free and premium users, there should be no barrier to entry for them to be able to sign up for a new account if they don't already have one. So once people are hopefully successfully registered, they've hopefully gotten into the app itself, then we look at engagement. So these are probably standard metrics. Many of you look at monthly active users, daily active users, weekly active users. Again, we're just trying to see if people are actually finding the right content within our experience, listening to music, as well as how long they're listening while they're in our app. And again, are we serving them the right pieces of specific content to get them enticed and engaged? And then after that, hopefully they've gone through the whole process, used our app and are enjoying it. And again, we're looking at retention, so are people coming back, repeat visits, and again, using Samsung TV as one of their main ways to listen to Spotify. So like Kwanghyun said, I think one of the main benefits we look at having access to this portal is the fact that we're truly able to close the loop when we look at this entire user funnel. So having worked with several other partners in the home space, it can be very challenging for us to get some of the data that you can see here in the dotted line. Essentially, we have very little visibility or get very manual reports from app installs to app launches all the way up to registration. And I think because we don't have any of that awareness in some of our other experiences, it's hard for us to truly diagnose and understand issues. So again, the fact that we have access to all of that through the Samsung Analytics portal really helps us to make truly informed decisions. So I'll just talk about a few examples of how we've really used the data and the analytics in the Samsung portal to help us make a few decisions. I personally really enjoy using the filtering tools in the dashboard. And the reason, being launched in 61 different markets, we're trying to do a better job at Spotify working with our regional teams to understand where we could use partner experiences like a Samsung TV to better engage users. And so being able to have the intelligence to tell our regional teams, especially in the Asia market, where, again, this may be the main smart connected device in their home, which markets have potentially high install rates, and awareness of Spotify being used in those markets. And so I think that allows them to not just broadly sort of target their entire region, but then focus on the specific countries where we know Samsung TV is strong, maybe Spotify awareness isn't as strong, but really to tap into that potential in those specific places. And I think one of the big things that we've done from a product perspective, like I said, is really understanding our effectiveness in registration and getting users actually into the app. Being able to have the data into installs and that visibility has allowed us to really understand our users installing the app, but getting to our sign-up page and potentially bailing. Anybody who's probably worked on acquisition and sign-up flows knows how difficult it is, even with 4 or 5 form fields, to get people to invest the time to actually go through that process. And so we think that really allowed us in some of our really top markets to understand that maybe we need to think about other registration methods, ones that don't require inputs, specifically on the TV, but how do we get people through that process a lot more quickly, understanding that there was that gap between installs and active usage of the Spotify app. So I think those are just a few examples of how we've used the platform. And I think we can all sort of understand that in a data-driven world that we're living in, having hunches when we're making decisions just simply isn't good enough. And I think, again, having access to the Samsung Analytics portal has allowed me and our team to make those decisions backed up by this great data and ultimately do what's best for our users. So thank you. I'll pass it back over to Kwanghyun to talk about the next phases of the portal.
Thank you, Kevin. We are well aware of the fact that more features in our smart TV analytics are necessary to cover different use cases of our partners have in mind, or solve many other analytical challenges that they are facing every day. Thus, we are considering to provide, develop additional features in our Samsung Smart TV analytics. Our Samsung Smart TV ecosystem cannot exist without the help of our partners. It is our sincere desire to make our Smart TV analytics better, and we are looking for your valuable feedback or comments to improve our other aspects of our Smart TV analytics. Thank you. Any questions to me or to Kevin?
I don't know if you mentioned this when you were talking about the report, I might have missed it, but did you say you do A/B testing with the analytics tools? Are you able to do that? Like have one on-device sign-up and one, like, I don't know, rendezvous type of linking and compare the two?
We do some A/B testing, but I would say that's sort of separate from the platform itself. But it is something that we sort of taken into account, but I think are testing different methods based on, again, just to give an example, we saw really high install rates in some of the markets, not as much engagement as we thought. So I think that was a huge sort of concern for us, is clearly people have installed it, showed intent, but just weren't going through the process to register itself. So we've done some A/B testing on other platforms to sort of figure out what's the best way for people to, on these big screen experiences, register for Spotify. But yeah, so we're still figuring it out.
Could you do that with this platform?
In this platform, we have a very basic function of A/B test, but currently it does not apply to this Smart TV analytics portal. So you can't use the A/B test in the system. And the other question? Yeah.
If you build like a standard app on Tyson for Smart TV, you have to add anything special for the tracking to work, or tracks automatically like installs, or do you have to install any special SDKs or anything for the tracking to start working for analytics, or it comes out of the box with this tracking?
In case of app usage tracking, currently in the analytics system, we provide only data, not any convenient to track the user data. So from the analytics data, you can download that data, or you can use some functions in the analytics, like graph generation or other comparison or rating. Yeah. But there are not much convenient functions there to track the user data.
Oh, but my question is, if I'm building the app on Tyson Studio, for example, do I have to add any specific libraries for it to start running the analytics?
I confused,
yeah.
Currently, without any implementing libraries or any other things, you can get your data in our analytics. But if you want to add some in-app usage there, you have to use something. But currently, that needs some development. So it doesn't provide any regular library to use that. In the future, we are considering about that internally, but maybe there are more continuous and more think about that, or getting requirements is necessary in our side.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
It's a non-technical question. Let's say I'm using my cell phone and I'm casting content to the TV, like Spotify or Google Video. Are you able to tell what device I'm using?
Uh,
This may be a little different from what you showed us, but I'm just
Yeah.
curious.
Some data can be collected and some are not, because under just agreements of users, we can collect the data. So if the usage is agreed by user, we can collect. So for example, if you disagree to collect the data in your smart TV terms and condition and privacy policy, we can't get any data from your TV. But if you agree that and data collection of that feature is implemented in our site by KPI specification, we can collect and we can provide statistical data. But there are not much personalized here now. So we don't provide any user data or personal usage data to partners or to users. And inside, we don't know any personal information about your TV. So we can just know some ID showed something, but there are no way to analyze that personal log in our side also. You're right. Sorry, can you, you can use it, Mike.
Yeah, so my question is on the apps analytics.
Apps analytics, yeah.
So does the user ratings will be considered as part of the analytics, will be part of analytics?
Rating?
Correct, app ratings.
App ratings. Yeah, well, we can make the rank and ratings about the apps, but in this scope of analytics, you can see only your apps ranking here. So you can't see any ranking of rank of all apps. Yeah.
My app, so whenever user comes and gives the ratings to my app, so does that data will be available in the analytics? Is my question.
I'm a little confusing about your question. So
my question is, whenever user comes to my app and rates my app, does that data will be available as part of the analytics, app analytics?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
I have one question that is related to the video streaming. Like, as you said, the analytics is available for the the games. So the same analytics is available for the the video streaming. Like how much, how long I have seen the video, and what is the duration of the video, and how much time I did pause, play, and
That's a good question. Because of some internal reasons, for example, budget or cost for processing everything, there are some limited internal analysis is possible in our side. So for video streaming content analysis, there are not much features in the Samsung Smart TV Analytics now. So we can't analyze those kind of OTT streaming contents, video consuming behavior. We can't see the data. But that is one of the important requirements from OTT content provider. So maybe we can provide that kind of things in the future. But I think if you are an OTT service provider, internally maybe you already have that kind of analytics features in your server side.
Right.
For example, CDN or some other distribution
right.
data you can collect.
But there are some other things like suppose there is a frame dropped in a video and there is a the bitrate change or the bandwidth change, and that kind of information is tough to get, the actual information.
Yeah. Some other departments guys are considering about that actually, but in our side, many OTT provider wants to know the quality in the actual TV. So evaluating that kind of things in TV side is also necessary. Yeah, so I agree about that, and maybe in the near future we may provide that kind of internal TV size quality or video streaming consuming data. That will be possible maybe.
Okay, thank you.
My question is for Kevin. So I believe you have your own way of measuring your metric in your app, in addition to this Samsung Smart TV analytics. And can you share some benefits of these analytics over your in-app measurement?
Yeah, so like I said, we essentially, once users have gone past registration, we do have a bunch of internal metrics that our product insights team has implemented within the app itself to kind of get more granular details on what users are doing within the app. But like I said, it's really hard for us a lot of the times to understand what's happening within our partners' platforms, and that for most of our partners we have zero visibility into. So I would say from a marketing perspective, so working closely with our partner marketing team, when they're doing things and running campaigns, it's not directly correlated to people using the app. It's more for awareness and app installs and users sort of going through that process. And so I think that's the main benefit that we specifically get, and like I sort of showed, closing the gap, is having that visibility insights. And I think we would love, and sort of giving feedback to Kwanghyun yesterday, more insights as well into placements within the app itself, because as you saw, we have a bunch of different areas where we're sort of promoting content, et cetera. And so I think that level even deeper as well would be super helpful for us, because there's no way for us to get that from those partner experiences.
I'm just curious on the Spotify front, the challenge of getting people to register or to sign in is obviously something that a lot of people have. And I'm just curious of where you netted out, like what kind of solutions do you think make sense for Samsung or other smart TVs? And then just a follow up to that is, once people are on the system, do you find any interesting patterns on what a user is doing on a smart TV versus like their phone on Spotify?
Yeah, that's a good question. So we haven't quite figured out the login. We are still figuring it. We're still figuring it out. Like I said, I think we realized people don't love inputting with D-pads. And so we're sort of thinking about, do we simplify that flow? How do we do that? We have specific inputs that obviously sort of are required for each of those Spotify accounts. But one thing we are sort of potentially testing, and I think has become a bit of a de facto standard in the big screen space, is pin pair. So thinking about does that make it easier if we sort of direct people to go to a mobile web view? Do they already have the credentials? People are more used to kind of typing things into the mobile app, and then using sort of our OAuth functionality to throw that token to the TV and sort of automatically log you in. What's cool about Spotify as well is because we've integrated some of the Spotify Connect features, if users already have a Spotify account, they're actually able to sort of play a song if they're on the same Wi-Fi network, actually just throw that to whatever connected device they have, and that automatically logs them in, again, using sort of those OAuth protocols. So we found that is a pretty seamless way to get existing users to do that. But again, it's sort of that new user input and getting them to do those things We've sort of talked about as well, do we think about sort of non-logged in preview view just to entice people? I think we like to think people know that Spotify is music, but I think a lot of people have no idea because the name doesn't even say music, that it is a music service. So just allowing people to see the album artwork, et cetera, and then potentially when they try to engage with the content, that they're incentivized, they go through the process, and then actually finish registration. So we haven't completely figured out all those things, but we're working on it. And then what was the second part of your?
Just curious if you notice patterns of people who are using Spotify on a smart TV. Is it significantly different than a person who's using it on their personal device?
Got it. Yeah, so our experience on TV is quite different in the sense that you can actually play free on demand on TVs as well. So it's a really great experience versus if any of you are free users, on a mobile application, you shuffle the music, so you're not able to play specific songs on demand. So I think our value proposition for the TV is really strong. And we would like to do a better job of letting people know that the license we've obtained for our biggest screen experiences is really great. And yeah, like I said, we're finding as we sort of map out the user journey of people, like I said, using it on their phone when they're on the go, to potentially in the car, using our new auto mode, to when they're in home and listening on their speakers or big screen device, that they're using it obviously at those specific times of day when it contextually makes sense. And so we are starting to think about the TV as, potentially the best speaker, a listening device for a lot of those sort of call them fireplace moments where people are around the TV with their families potentially, so promoting some of that content, or just having it be something in the background as they're doing chores or having dinner. So we're taking those things into account and understanding how people are using it, and then, like I said, trying to serve up content that makes sense for those moments so that they know when they come to the TV that Spotify knows why they're kind of coming there and is promoting stuff and surfacing content that makes sense for that.
Cool, thank you. So you got different publishing deals about the platform?
It's just different licenses we sort of have in each of the different platforms. And yeah, it's just one of the benefits that we have for the big screen experience.
Oh, sorry. I was going to jump on that because I just recently got cheap and I went from premium Spotify to free user, and I noticed that suddenly I couldn't talk to my Sonos system. So it sounds like, can you just dig a little bit into that and help us understand, is that one of the examples where your distribution arrangements are different? Because I can cast to my Samsung TV, but my Sonos is dead now.
Yep, so we just have different licenses, but yeah. Exactly, got to get back on premium. But exactly for our speakers, exactly they're a premium-only experience. So we just have different experiences, and we are trying to do a better job of letting people know the specific experiences you'll have on all of them. But like I said, the experience on TV is great, so continue to use that platform. And yes, come back to premium and use it on your speaker too.
And I missed some important point from your question, a previous question. Regarding the streaming mirroring to TV from smartphone, we haven't any information about the content. We just know the streaming channel is opened and some data is streamed by wireless or wired channel. That is everything what we can know. So we don't know about any contents you are watching. Thank you.
Last question.
Yeah, I just general question for the Spotify app. Are you noticing a larger distribution of users on Orsay versus Tizen?
Right now, we are focusing efforts on the Tizen platform. And as you saw with the Eden view, as well as the Shazam stuff, we're sort of focusing on the newer platforms because they just support more rich sort of content discovery. So we're sort of focusing on the Tizen experiences now.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.